Being Human by Naima. I wonder if the sun debates dawn some mornings, not wanting to rise out of bed from under the down-feather horizon. If the sky grows tired of being everywhere at once, adapting to the mood swings of the weather. If clouds drift off trying to hold themselves together, make deals with gravity to loiter a little longer. I wonder if rain is scared to fall, if it has trouble letting go. If snowflakes get sick of being perfect all the time, each one trying to be one of a kind. I wonder if stars wish upon themselves before they die, if they need to teach their young how to shine. I wonder if shadows long to just for once feel the sun, if they get lost in the shuffle, not knowing where they're from. I wonder if sunrise and sunset respect each other, even though they've never met. If volcanoes get stressed, if storms have regrets, if compost leaves in life after death. I wonder if breath ever thinks of suicide, if the wind just wants to sit still sometimes and watch the world pass by. If smoke was born knowing how to rise, if rainbows get shy backstage, not sure if their colors match right. I wonder if lightning sets an alarm clock to know when to crack, if rivers ever stop and think of turning back. If streams meet the wrong sea and their whole lives run off track. I wonder if the snow wants to be black, if the soil thinks she's too dark, if butterflies want to cover up their marks, if rocks are self-conscious of their weight, if mountains are insecure of their strength. I wonder if waves get discouraged crawling up the sand, only to be pulled back again to where they began. If land feels stepped upon, if sand feels insignificant. If trees need to question their lovers to know where they stand. If branches waver at the crossroads, unsure of which way to grow. If the leaves understand they're replaceable and still dance when the wind blows. I wonder where the moon goes when she isn't hiding. I want to find her there and watch the ocean spin from a distance. Listen to her, stir in her sleep. Effort gives way to existence. Hey there, friend. Welcome to the show. My name is Sarah Rusk, and I'm the host of the Heythere Friend podcast. Welcome to episode 00, the beginning. Oh man, it's so nice to be able to finally start doing this and putting all of this together. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and it's been 2 years in the making. So, first couple of episodes might start off a little janky, but we'll be well on our way in no time. So let's just jump right into it. So who am I? What is this podcast about? And why should you, quite honestly, give a damn? So about 2 years ago, I was a pooper scooper for quite some time. And I used to listen to all different kinds of podcasts. I listened to Psychic Teachers. I listened to Serial, which I loved. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I listened to Positive Head. And a few more. Constance Arnold, she's my OG. But as I was walking and, picking up dog shit, I did this by myself. And I would find myself kind of talking and, talking out loud and agreeing with some of the things I heard and treating all of these podcasting people like they were my friends and having conversations and talking to other people about them. Like, oh my gosh, you'll never guess what so-and-so said on this podcast or this episode. And it was so good. And it kind of gave me the idea to start my own podcast to tell my interesting story that will grow and continue and change constantly. That's cool. That's why I make this. But to be friends with the listener, you are my friend. Let's be friends. And it's pretty funny too, because I actually work for one of my favorite podcasts now, Positive Head. I do their sound and some of their social media stuff, so it's pretty awesome. But anyway, back to the podcast stuff that I used to listen to. I would talk to my car stereo, I'd talk to my phone, and I had really bad anxiety. And whenever I was just kind of, having a bad day or whatnot, I would go for a walk and listen to some of, my favorite shows. And I would feel so much better just because I feel like I was having a conversation with a friend. despite the fact that I wasn't talking. Somebody else was doing all the talking, but I was kind of just, agreeing and nodding my head to whatever they were saying. Like, oh yeah, that's such a good point. Oh, I never thought of it that way. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree. And yeah, it's kind of that crazy person walking around my neighborhood talking to myself. Now, in 2017, I listen to a crap ton of true crime because I'm a true crime buff. It's a lot of fun. So why am I making the show? Why do you want to listen? Well, like I said before, let's be friends. My name is Sarah, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I hope that we can have this awesome relationship between speaker and listener. It's pretty awesome. I have been through a lot in my life, and I can guarantee you have too, which is another reason why I'm motivated to start a podcast to talk about some of this stuff. I am a survivor. I am a survivor of something that does not get talked about very much, and it gets downplayed quite a lot. I am a survivor of a domestic violence case, issue, whatever you want to call it. But it's taken me quite some time to finally recognize it and just accept it that, yes, I'm a survivor. And I wish to tell my story to help others. And now this show isn't going to be all about, just downers and all about what I've been through and whatnot. It's the other side. It's knowing what happens after everything is over and how I've been coping with the stress and anxiety and depression in my life. Because it's taken quite a toll on me. And it's, I've gotten PTSD from it and a bunch of other stuff. So I wish to talk and tell my story with the hopes of being able to help you, friend. And another thing that kind of inspired me to do this was I just recently became close with a new friend who I've known for quite some time, but we just started talking, like really getting to know each other. And we almost have the same story. Obviously it's different in some parts and, it's different perspectives, but we both have been through something similar, and having an outlet and something to listen to know that everything is okay and will be okay. It helps you to keep going. So, motivation. And I was thinking about this the other day. I survived. I made it through what I've been through, and I'm still going. And I feel that I was meant to somehow tell my story in some way or another to help others. And I want to help you, friend, to heal. While in the process, this will help me heal as well. And now, by no means will this be a spiritual podcast. I guess you could say I am spiritual. I don't go to church or anything like that, but I do believe, I've got my spirit guides and all that good stuff. But I will talk about some spiritual-based ideas, and I'm a huge component of the law of attraction. I love talking about it, speaking about it, all that good stuff, but that's later episodes. And I'm going to talk about this quite a lot, but tone down, I kind of label myself as a woo folk, and I'm into all that woo-woo stuff. So yeah, and I'm an empath, and I have a habit of holding on to other people's energies, and it hurts sometimes. And I will also talk about that too, because most people who have been through such trauma have a habit of either taking on other people's energies or spreading their energy, which is another thing. But that's okay, and we'll learn how to handle our energies together. And I've also been told I am painfully optimistic, and I am extremely proud of that. I embrace that. My topics will be all over the place, ranging from what happens to me weekly, what has happened to me in the past, in the future, and I promise it will be interesting. I'm usually the go-to person when people have other problems or they want to talk about something or know a useless tidbit of information. I'm usually the go-to person, which I think is pretty cool. And friend, I say just listen to this. Just listen. Don't think or judge. Just listen. Sample from everything you hear and be a sponge and absorb it all and apply it, when you need it. There's going to be awesome nuggets of information, I promise. I would like this podcast to be once a week if I'm able to. I am kind of a busy person, but I feel that this is important, and I feel I can, once a week, I'll be able to do it. And audience participation is extremely welcomed. Please leave feedback on iTunes or wherever I'm going to post this. We'll decide that later. And I've had this Facebook page and Twitter account set up for, I think, like 6 months now. It is facebook.com/HeyThereFriendPodcast. I have a Twitter account, and the Twitter handle is HeyTherePodcast, or at HeyTherePodcast. And if anybody has any questions or topics, I have a email address specifically for that. So the email address is HeyThereFriendPodcast@gmail.com. And I'll make sure to put in the description all of these links and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet for today. I would generally like to keep the episodes between, like 20 minutes to a half hour. I feel like that's a good chunk of time. But hey, who knows? So, I read somewhere what the word universe broken down looks like. And it's broken down into uni, meaning one, and verse, meaning a verse in a song, a stanza in a poem, stuff like that. And I also believe that the universe is inside of us. We are essentially our own universes. And because of that, I like to think that we are all living life like a song. Every day we get to go out and we sing about who we are and, just by how we interact with things in the world around us, with people, whatnot. And when we aren't feeling okay, we don't sing as loud or as well as we want to. Maybe we forget the words, or maybe we need to make them up altogether. And that's okay. And with that, I say, just promise me you'll keep singing. Okay, friend?